Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Cup TV, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality. And you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I am your girl, Lana, your resident evil diva, and I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea. I am drinking nothing because I've been podcasting literally all day, and I drank all of it. And so I have nothing to drink, but I do have a cup mug if I wanted to get something to drink. Yeah. And you can get your cup mug at lanagcreations.etsy.com. That link will be in the description below. And we do ship internationally and domestically, so there are no excuses. Get your cup mugs.
And hello, my name is Jack. I am the resident game designer of the panel. And for once, yeah, no, the show completely tricked me and I had no idea where the hell we were this episode. So good on them for finally getting it done. Like,
But they're getting it. They're getting it. 'Cause this was a doozy of an episode, I will say. And we're going to jump right and talk about it. But before we do, if you haven't been here before, thank you for joining. And we hope you subscribe because we're on a mission to get 1,000 new subscribers by the end of the year. So every person counts, every subscription counts. We appreciate it. Subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss a single time we drop a video because we are dropping videos literally every single day. We are literally in the thick of a lot of things. Big Brother season has started. Love Island is wrapping up. So we have been going live constantly and we will continue to do that. And so we got a lot of videos dropping. We still have the snake. We're still doing Destination X. We're still doing Project Runway. And so we have a lot of videos that will be constantly coming out your way. So definitely stay tuned. We have a interview tomorrow with a contestant from this show that we're talking about today. So we're not going to tell you who it is, though. You have to tune in to find out who we're talking to next. So join us and stick around for that. Follow us on all of our other channels at the Cup Pod for all your drag and drag race needs, at the Cup ESC for all your Eurovision Song Contest needs, and at the Cup Ringside for all your WWE content. So join us for all of those things. Follow us on our socials, follow us on our audio podcast links if you need to check us out on the go, and join our Patreon because we've got a lot of fun things happening in there. Early access to some things that will come out much later on the channel, and exclusive things that will never come out on the channel. See what we got going on in our Patreon. Join, and join. Jack, they got me.
yeah,
They
no, this episode. Oh,
I had no idea where we were the entire time.
yeah, no, I was like, none of this is familiar to me. I can catch up on a couple things, like bridges are maybe important. Rivers, war, but none
It-
of those read to me as anything useful. And I mean, at the end, when all the pieces are laid out, it's like, yeah, A, B, C, D.
um,
But until that point, I was nowhere close.
no. I would have never guessed where they were in this episode. I had some semblance of ideas in other episodes. This one totally threw me. I didn't know where they were. Trying to pick up on the clues that they say were along the way, it just would have never come to me. Yeah,
Yeah.
it would have it didn't happen. But we start off the episode where people are still reeling that Mac is gone. Peter's like, I had to do it. It was the only, and Rick was like, that's the only way she probably would have left this game is something like that because she was a good player. And so,
He's right.
and he
He's
was very
absolutely
much right.
right.
Absolutely right. She was strong and knew exactly what she was doing, and she was smart about what she was doing. So there was no way of getting her out by just not having because having her guess where they were. She was pretty good at guessing where they were and figuring out where they were, even without clues sometimes, which we saw in that last episode. She did not get a single clue, but she knew exactly where she was. So there was there was that. But she Biggie was taking it really hard because he enjoyed the relationship that he was getting with Mac, and he knew he was the reason that she was gone because she shared some information and he shared some information and everybody's sharing some information, so nobody was wrong. Um, and everybody agreed they don't want another tie to happen. So everybody is now being very tight-lipped about everything from this point.
And we see what happens this episode because of it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm honestly not sure if it would have mattered or not, to be
Mm-mm.
fair, but
Honestly, I don't think anybody knew where they were in this on this. I don't think any of them were any close at all close. Like it didn't
no.
matter who went into the map room, we would have had the same, I think, results.
And I think there is potentially a metagame reason of why that happened, but once we get to the end and everything is fully on the table, I'll talk about it then. But
Okay. We
for
start off
now, at
for
least,
now. Let's
yeah.
start off with the challenge because we have everybody's reeling from that. But we go into the next challenge, which is a canoeing challenge, and we find out later on that they were at the I
Yep,
just
I have it looked I have it right here. It is the Tagliamento River
yes
in somewhere.
so-
I'm not going to
tagliaments
say yet.
right in somewhere.
Tagliamento River.
If y'all want to go look, if you're playing along, you can Google it yourself. But we know where we are because we watched it. If you hadn't watched the show, you should go watch the show, then come back and listen to us. But if you just want to know
Yeah.
what happened and you're listening to us, then okay, we'll play
Yeah.
along with you. We'll play along with you. But it's
I do want to
somewhere.
know this is not given information. We are not directly told this is the river we were on
No,
because literally if you hear the name of this river, you have probably a great
probably
guess as
idea
to
what.
what country
Yes,
you're in.
absolutely,
And maybe that's a good reason. So,
absolutely. They didn't know, but they were there and they're on the on the canoeing, and they were broken up into teams randomly. They say, but okay. Rick and Shane, Biggie and Pete, and Allie and Janae. I'm like, was this random? Or are we just sticking people with
I,
each other? I don't know.
I feel like maybe it was a little less random. I feel like they might have just chosen the teams themselves and were like, doesn't really matter to show it.
But they had to go down and canoe down this river and has stop at three checkpoints. And at the three checkpoints, it was and you had to answer which one was different. Out of four bags, one was not like the others. And you had to pick the one that was not like the others, bring it back to the boat, and take it to the final point and put it in to lock in your time. And whoever got it correct received a postcard to give them a clue of where they were. Um, so we go down the line. Honestly,
It's a blowout. It
it's a
is
blowout, like complete.
literally by question two, we know who's won, and we don't even need to go to question three. It's like, oh,
Right.
you got to be fast. You got to make sure you go down this river right. No, none of that mattered.
No. Rick and Shane got all three correct. So they won this challenge. Biggie and Pete got one right, and Janae and Allie didn't get any right. Um, and so they get Rick and Shane get a postcard with the Bridge of Sigh in
The
some
bridge of
place.
size in somewhere,
Someplace. They
but
don't
they
know
have no idea
exactly
why.
where they are. They just know that it looks like it's made of marble, which was one of the clues. Madonna was on it. A picture of a statue of Madonna was on it, which was one of the clues. And
And the other one is unclear because the other answer, I do not feel like mispronouncing the capital, but it was the capital of Slovenia. So they selected that as the correct answer,
hmm
with the small problem of that being accidentally correct, and it really just wasn't an island while the other three were islands.
right.
So they they don't necessarily understand why they're
Why?
right. And this doesn't help out because Rick immediately goes, okay, great, we're in the capital of Croatia. We're in the capital of Slovenia. That's where we are, and I'm good for that for the round.
Yeah. Yeah. And so then they get back on the bus. And this is where I was like, okay, producer, I know what's about to happen. Thank you for telling me who's about to go home. Because we start hearing backstory and we start seeing stories of moments where everybody's talking. And we get Janae talking about her experience on Love Island, her experience before Love Island, and now that how she wanted to be married with about 10 kids by the time she was 28, and now she was 27 and she did not have any of that. But then she got on Love Island, she found Kenny, and and now she's like, when you stop looking for things to go a certain way, things just start happening. And so then we see Rick talking about how him and his wife met and how they knew in less than a week that they were going to be together. And by the end of the month, or he said the end of the month, they were married. And
Yeah, something like that, to where like at 25 they were like having kids.
they already had 3 kids by 25. Like it was, and we saw Peter talking about how he listening to them inspires him because he going on a bachelor was the crazy time. It was fun, but it was wild, and how he still is not giving up hope on love, and he's still going to wish for all of that. And then of course you see Allie and Shane touching hands, giving googly eyes. I'm like, yeah, I should have stayed together. Whatever. Um, I don't, let me be quiet. It was nice. It was nice, but in that moment, I was like, "Oh, I know what's about to happen." Even though it's like production, you're letting me know what's about to go down. Okay, okay. I'll brace myself. It's one of these three people about to go. One of these three people are about to go. We're about to lose either Peter, Janae, or Rick. One of these people are about to go because now we're getting backstories on each of them, and we're having these little moments for each of them. Okay. And what happens? We go to the War Map Room Challenge, and they're going into this castle-like place where wars and uh, where they were protecting the city from here, and they were protecting a lot of stuff happened in this place. So they picked teams because he Jeffrey asked if who wants to volunteer to, I guess, lead or go first, and
Yeah.
Peter and Shane both raised their hand. So they are going to be the ones to pick. Peter picks Rick, Shane picks Biggie, then Peter picks Janae, and Biggie
Uh-huh.
picks is left with Allie, or Shane picks Allie, who he was going to pick anyway. And I'm like,
Huh.
Peter,
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 no.
Peter, what are you? What
No.
you
No,
you
don't do that.
don't do that. Don't all have your allies on the same. Don't. Hello, am I crazy? Am I tripping? Peter, what are we doing
Yeah,
here?
no, it's far too much. Far too much.
I was like, stop doing that. But
I
Peter
will
didn't listen.
also note, I
Hmm.
believe I know, only because I had looked it up. I believe I know specifically where this challenge is being held.
Hmm.
And it is in the city of Palmanova. Just a nice walled city somewhere in the world, and it's not at all suspicious. Once again, don't read into Taglioni and Palmanova.
Like, if you're playing along with us, write in the chat what you think we are. Just thinking of those names: Tagliamento,
And
Palmanova,
Palmanova.
because they don't give anything away.
Nothing.
Okay, but so they have to play like Battleship. It's like a Battleship version where you
I
have to
I wouldn't
place
even
your
call it
pieces.
Battleship, honestly. I call it Glass Bridge. Like it's much
Last,
more Squid Games esque.
yeah, I guess it's a mixture of both. I think because
Yeah.
you have to keep your remember where your other person went so you don't go there, but then you also have to place things in a order that the other teams it doesn't hit your people
Yeah.
first. So
It's very interesting.
it was interesting. And the differences of strategy kind of blew me watching how Rick, Peter, and Janae decided to line up their people with the way Biggie, Shane, and Allie decided to line up their people. It was just an interesting way. But honestly, once they started, it was just like Shane was actually really good at this. And they did not expect Shane to be good at it. Now, I don't know what this was, Jack, and you can tell me if you know what this is, but I did not know what sticking my hand out to the wind.
I don't know. No, I was literally like, what is this man doing sticking his arm? I don't know if they like memorize their own positions on their arm, but that wouldn't be relevant at all. Like, maybe if anything, they were trying to maybe determine like their previous path. It's so weird. I genuinely can't explain it.
I don't know what that was for. I feel like that was all just a I
Superstition. Yeah.
I don't know what that was for. Maybe one day if I get to talk to Shane, I'll ask him what that was about because I don't know what
Yeah.
that was about. Um, but uh, it just
I
really
mean,
okay. Go ahead.
this challenge is really just like choose one of three spots, hope the other team didn't mark that spot in that place.
Right.
Just keep going. Strategy, memorization, and teamwork are very interesting words to describe what I would describe as a luck challenge,
Yes.
because that's all this is. It
Right.
really is that simple.
Janae goes out first. Um, then Shane goes out. Then Peter goes out. Then Biggie goes out. Then oh no, then no, not Biggie doesn't go out. Then Peter goes out. Then Rick goes out. Allie doesn't even have to
Mm,
play because Allie, Biggie, and Shane win.
yeah. Shane has some weird natural intuition that basically gets him to the last potential spot in on his own turn, and
Yep.
seeing how that's the only marked spot on that eighth row, literally all the other team has to do is get to the end. There's no other strategy or nothing. It's just walk to the end real quick. If the other team can beat you, they win. Otherwise, you win.
Right.
Yay.
Yay.
I feel like this challenge was weirdly explained as well, because it's like,
Mm-hmm.
does the soldier disappear if you step on it? Can you just line three soldiers up in one row to make sure that the team crashes? I assume not. Can you line up two soldiers in the same row? Like,
I would put them all at the back row because they always have to walk up to it. So,
exactly. This challenge was not well explained to us, so I mean,
uh,
they won, and now Peter has essentially sent his whole alliance into the map room
yep.
when none of them have any idea where they are.
Yeah. So they go into this map room, y'all. Nobody knows where they are. They try to talk about it. They try to figure out where they are. Rick gets some information from Biggie, and he tells him Slovenia because that's what the capital was, and that's what came up. So they think it's Slovenia. Um, but then Janae had already had in her mind she thought it was Croatia, and Rick come in thinking about his game and how he should play it for himself, and so he kind of leans into the Croatia of it all. And Janae's like, "That's what I think. I feel like if I'm saying this and Rick is saying it, we probably are in Croatia." And so that's what we're going to do. Peter's like, you sure it's Croatia? I think it might be Slovenia. Well, Slovenia seems normal. Croatia seems right. We just got to figure it out which one it is. They did not know. Like, literally, all three of them didn't have a single idea, solid idea of where they were. This was all a guess for every single one of them.
Yep.
And so when they go into the map room, it's literally them trying to guess and figure out where they are. No solid information, nothing that is like locked in. They
Yeah.
did not know. And so we see where they all put their um so I'm going to tell you, since you're playing along with us, where they all placed their X. Janae put her X in Split, Croatia. Um Rick put his in Slovenia, the
Ljubljana,
capital,
Slovenia. Yep.
Slovenia. And Peter put his in Trieste, Italy,
Mm-hmm.
which was on because he was stuck on the Alps and the southern rivers of the Alps. So he was like, it has to be in Italy, and that's where he put it. Now we get Jeffrey coming on the bus after everybody gets on the bus. They're like, that was hard. Ooh, that was tough. Oh, so tough.
And then at the
Gosh,
exact same time, for some reason, they just feel the bus move in a weird way, and they're like,
what the heck? And the bus like literally feels like it's going over a hump. And yeah,
and
they
now
were
it's
going.
unstable.
It's unstable, and they know they're going over a hump. They're like, we don't know what we are, what we're doing right now. And then Jeffrey gets on the bus, and shout out to Jeffrey. I just love Jeffrey every week. Shout out to him getting on the bus, looking away from them first, like, oh, they're here. Okay.
Just like, y'all are idiots,
You're
but
dumb.
let's continue.
Um, Come to find out, Jeffrey says, we have never had a map room like this before, where we had X's on three different countries.
Which,
And okay, he said, and none of you were even close to where we are. And everybody is gooped and gagged and betrothed because they cannot believe they were in three different countries. And even the three who weren't in the map room were so shocked because they had no idea. This is why me and Jack said it did not matter who went into this map room. We would have had the same issues. None of them would know what they were.
yeah,
None of them had a clue where they were. Um, but the person who was the furthest away and had to leave the bus this round was Janae.
yeah,
And I was not happy about that because I was here for Janae.
I do
Janae
not
was
blame you.
the whole reason I was watching this episode, this show was because of Janae. Now, do I like the show now? Absolutely. I do enjoy the show. But the draw that brought me into the show was Janae Craig. And I will forever be a Janae Craig stan fan, love her down boots forever. And she brought me into this show. I love the show now, glad to watch it, but sad, sad, sad to see Janae go because she did say Croatia and they were nowhere near Croatia. Now, ladies and gentlemen, for those who are watching, for those who have been playing along with us, we will now tell you exactly where they are. The drum roll is Venice, Italy.
Uh,
Nowhere near close to this.
Everyone is over here, and Venice is here. Like, we are in a completely different area of the Europe at this point. It genuinely is impressive how far they are.
So far off. Like uh, so many different, so many different. Like here is where they all place their stuff, and here over here, somewhere over here is where they actually. It was wild and crazy. So Janae is shocked that it's her.
Yeah.
Well, and I won't say everyone, but Peter and Rick are very sad that it's Janae. Because Peter and Rick are the only people who actually gave her a fair shot in this game and actually tried to get to know her. And if they would have actually gotten to know her, they would have known how sweet of a person she is and how sweetheart and lovely. And yes, Allie, she was loved by the people on her show. And yes, Allie, she still will be loved by everybody on this show. And we don't like you. Okay, I don't like you. I won't
Mm,
say we. I don't like you. I personally am not a fan. But you can't have all the fans. And the way you treated Janae was awful. And I don't like you for that. So there we go. That's just my personal opinion, and it's okay. I'm allowed to have it. I don't have to like everybody, and everybody does not have to be liked. And I just don't like her. I
yeah.
don't. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. I
And you
gotta be
can
real.
tell exactly when Allie goes who's going to be doing the exit interview. That's
It
right, it
cannot
is
be me.
Lana. We're absolutely burning all our bridges.
I can keep it professional, but it will be hard if I
No, I'll
did.
probably be doing
Yeah, Jack probably be doing it because I don't think I want to talk to her. I don't think I want to. Unless I calm down for between now and then. I'm not talking to her next, so I'm okay right now.
but
But yeah, Janae gets off the bus and she is floating in the river with the bus on the barge, and they're in Venice, and she's gagged like, oh my god. But she leaves the bus, letting everybody know that there's no offense to anyone, but she is really rooting for Rick, and she thinks Rick deserves it. And Rick is just beside himself because he was the one that he says he bamboozled her to say Croatia, but it didn't matter. They would have
it
both been
didn't
wrong
matter.
either way. Even if he told her Slovenia, he was wrong and off too. Peter still would have beat both of them.
It really was just too close to call for any of them. It genuinely could have gone any way. Janae could have accidentally placed it a little bit closer and just have been closer by like meters. So
Right. So it didn't really matter. But yeah, that was she got off the bus, she saw Venice, and then they allowed the other contestants to see where they were in Venice, that they were floating along this river right now in Venice. So everybody was like, "Oh my God, we're on a boat, we're floating, da da da." Where are they floating to, Jack? We don't know.
who knows? They could be floating at this point off to well, they're going into the Mediterranean, so I mean somewhere in Egypt next because they just wanted to change it up for a little bit. They go far enough down, that's close, I
Uh,
think.
I don't think they're gonna go to another continent.
You never know. They might just change it up at the last second. It's like, yeah, so we're going down to the middle of Africa right now. Figure it out. I know none of you studied for this, but that
No,
makes it
you
more
didn't study
entertaining.
this, right? We know you studied Europe, not Africa, but it's okay. Figure it out.
But yeah,
Yeah, no. But that um is where we are. I didn't see a preview because I don't get previews when I watch today next day. So
I did not get a preview either. So, Final Five, a
mm-hmm.
very interesting Final Five with honestly, we have Peter and Rick kind of on one side,
Mm-hmm.
then Biggie kind of in the middle, and then Allie and Shane on the other, but also not really because Rick is also part of the old heads, the
Mm-hmm.
people who were on the bus originally. But Peter's smart enough to probably just outlast Shane, maybe Biggie anyway. Like, this is a very open end game.
Yes. I don't know what is going to happen with this. It's going to be interesting to see, but I can't wait to find out. And we're going to be back here next week just talking about it. And just know we got an interview coming tomorrow. Who we talking to? We just see. I'm not going to tell you, but we'll talk to that individual tomorrow. That interview will be up tomorrow, so check it out. Also, we'll be back next week talking about more Destination X. So check us out, follow us, and do all the things. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Do that now. and follow us on this channel and all of our other channels. Help us reach our mission of 1,000 new subscribers by the end of the year. You can follow us on all on our audio podcast links, our join our Patreon, follow us on our socials at the Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky. You can follow Jack and myself. You see the links going down there. Follow us if you want. We're cool. We talk about stuff. And don't forget to get your cup mug at LanaCreations.etsy.com. We're gonna get out of here because we got more podcasts to do and more content to create. So we're gonna give you some. We're gonna go do that. You go and watch another video. What? Go watch our Mac video from Destination X. Go watch that.
Exactly.
Check it out. Good video. Jack did a great job on that. So check it out, and we'll see y'all next
Cheers.
week. Cheers. Bye.